Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, June 21, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness has tabled job descriptions which are to direct the conduct of members of Parliament, MPs, and government ministers. The documents were tabled during yesterday's sitting of the House of Representatives. The job description for ministers of government was tabled as a white paper, while the document governing MPs was tabled as a green paper and will go before a joint select committee of the House. Prime Minister Holness says the job descriptions will allow for good governance as the political directorate will be held to the highest standards of conduct.
These will set out strategic objectives of the post, its purpose, reporting and accountability, the key deliverables and responsibility areas, performance standards, competencies, contacts, and the working conditions.
Mr. Holness, meanwhile, says further refining of the documents will be carried out by a joint select committee of Parliament.
This code should set the standard for appropriate conduct and guide how the standards should be understood and interpreted. Most importantly, the Code of Conduct must hold the Houses of Parliament to enforce the conduct on their members.
The committee will also be asked to establish a reporting and accountability framework for members of the political directorate. These will include standard periodic reports to Parliament on the work of MPs in their constituencies, the use of public resources, such as the Constituency Development Fund (CDF), and engagements with constituents. The attendance and participation of members in the House and committees will also be tracked and action determined for absences beyond a set threshold. Prime Minister Holness said the job descriptions were part of government's drive to transform the public service.
The government is determined, and we are moving forward with the complementary key element, which is accountability for performance. Madam Speaker, our mission is to ensure that the people of Jamaica enjoys the best public service, the best governance, and have access, Madam Speaker, to the best quality of leadership and governance that any country can have.
The Ministry of Labour and Social Security is taking steps to improve the liaison services of the Canadian Overseas Farm Work Program. Speaking earlier today at a post-cabinet press briefing, Portfolio Minister Pernell Charles Jr. says his ministry has engaged members of the Canadian Management Committee to define steps for a more robust and effective approach. The action comes against concerns by Jamaica nationals of inhumane working conditions on the Overseas Farm Work Program.
Letters are being prepared to send to all farm workers to assure them of our continued support. And we will be engaging not just farm workers, but we have started the process by having meetings with our liaison officers in Canada. And we will be engaging also the farmers and the employers. So all stakeholders related to the Overseas Employment Farm Work Program will be engaged to make sure that we have a full understanding of the steps to be taken to improve and to optimize the program.
Minister Charles Jr. says a toll-free line is now in place to receive farmers' concerns anonymously. The minister adds that email addresses and WhatsApp numbers will soon be used to accept complaints. Farmers utilizing the Tourism Ministry's Agri-Linkages Exchange Alex platform have generated approximately $325 million in revenues between January and May this year. Portfolio Minister Edmund Bartlett provided the update as he closed the sectoral debate in Parliament on Tuesday. Minister Bartlett says this accomplishment highlights the platform's effectiveness in connecting farmers to markets and creating prosperous opportunities.
Furthermore, in the preceding year of 2022, the Alex portal facilitated the sale of agricultural produce valued at $330 million. So, Madam Speaker, just to indicate the growth in this area, in that a full year of 2022 generated $330 million, and half a year, less than half a year, 5 months of 2023 has already accrued $325 million of sales for the farmers of Jamaica.
Minister Bartlett adds that the tourism linkages networks have assisted farmers affected by drought.
To address this, we donated water tanks to farmers in St. Elizabeth, St. James, St. Anne and Trelawney. In the first phase, 50 tanks were given to farmers in St. Elizabeth, 20 to farmers in St. James, and in the second phase, 200 tanks were donated to farmers in St. Ann and Trelawney. We will continue this initiative in 2023 to support small farmers while spreading the tourism benefits to all.
Fire safety features will be a significant aspect of the new Musgrave Market in Portland. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie says this is keeping with required safety standards of the Jamaica Fire Brigade. The minister made the disclosure during a recent tour of the facility. Minister McKenzie used the opportunity to encourage vendors to stop the practice of overloading the market's electricity infrastructure. He says shop operators in the new market will have to apply to the Jamaica Public Service for their own electricity.
I've already engaged JIS. There is the prepaid meter that can be used. When we get close to that, we will engage, and that is why we want the vendors at the table from the beginning, because the municipality cannot foot the bill for the 200 and odd vendors.
For now, Minister McKenzie says the ministry is looking at various designs before the procurement process. But until then,
the municipality has made other arrangements for vending to take place. In discussion this morning, there are probably another 7 or 8 craft vendors who have not yet been placed. That's it. That we are now working to find alternative arrangements for these craft vendors to ply their trade.
And finally, the Reggae Girls left the island today ahead of the FIFA Women's World Cup next month, which will run from July 20 to August 20. The girls will open their World Cup campaign against France on July 23 before taking on Panama and close out their group fixtures against Brazil on August 2. The team was lauded for their achievement at a send-off reception last evening hosted by the Ministry of Sport. This is the Reggae Girls' second qualification to the World Cup, becoming the first Caribbean female team to reach the showpiece event.
I believe you have all the skills and talent, and more so you have the drive to do it. And I think it is not beyond the Jamaica football team, our Reggae Girls, to actually win the World Cup.
We're having the celebration that we should have had when the girls qualified. And qualifying back-to-back has been a great achievement for Jamaica.
We've been here before, and we'll come again. I think from the last World Cup, we gained the experience that is necessary to go into this one even more confident than before.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.